I'm just sitting here thinking about how important it is to hold on, when you're waiting on God and when you're believing God for something. And it can be anything, we all have something that God promised us or something that we're waiting for him to do or to change. Even if you're not a Christian, you can be waiting for your life to change. You can be waiting for a promotion. You could be waiting because you're trying to save to get another car. It can be anything, but specifically for believers, it can be really hard just waiting on the Lord, but it's so important to hold on and not give up and not quit. And what I was thinking about too was like in the past when I was raising my kids. For those of you who don't know, I have 6 children, and I was a single mom, and it was tough, raising them, being broke, couldn't afford so many things, couldn't afford a lot of the things they really needed, never mind just wanted. And it was hard, just trying to make it and hold on from day to day. And I was thinking about that, how in those moments when I was raising them, how bad I wanted things to change, how much I hated the way my life was and how uncomfortable it was and how much I cried and how tired I was and exhausted I felt. And life was just exasperating from one day to the next, knowing that as much as I have fought that day, I was going to have to wake up, rinse and repeat and do it all over again. But it was so important for me to hold on and believe God, and just know that it wasn't going to stay that way. It was going to change, but I had to take it one day at a time. And the thing is too, that as we're living and we're going through life, God gives us a specific set of instructions. And so even though, you always hear, wait on the Lord, be of good courage and just wait on the Lord. But waiting isn't just sitting around and twiddling your thumbs. Waiting on God is active. So in the process of you waiting, you have to think about, what instructions did God give you? What did he tell you to do? What are you supposed to be working on? What are you doing? Are you doing things that are productive, or are you doing things that are counterproductive to where you're trying to get to? And that involves our relationships in every kind of way, not even just romantic, but our family relationships, our friendships, work relationships, all of it. What are you doing? Who are you surrounding yourself with? And it's not about our feelings. It doesn't matter how we're feeling in the moment. We have to trust God and believe God. He's not a liar. But what are we doing? Are we doing our part? Are we doing what he gave us to do? I'm sitting waiting for my life to change, but am I being obedient? Am I doing what God called me to do? And sometimes we're looking for this knockdown, drag out, drastic change in our lives. But a lot of times it trickles in, the changes come little by little. It isn't always this big old drastic thing and our whole life changes. Yes, a lot of times God can do that, but normally it's little by little, and it's contingent on the decisions that we make, the choices that we make. Where we end up is going to be the sum of the choices that we make. And it's so pivotal. What decisions are you making? Are you making good decisions? Like when I was raising my kids, I was going through so much. I was in an abusive relationship. The relationship with their father was horrible. He was a constant cheater, and I didn't want my life to be like that, but I was staying in it. So if I had continued to stay in it, knowing that the Lord was nudging me to get out of it, of course my life is not going to change. I'm going to keep fussing and fighting and going through this vicious cycle of being miserable because I wasn't making good choices. But when I aligned myself with God and I started doing the things that He was encouraging me to do, taking that leap of faith, that's when my life changed. You know, I didn't wake up and become a millionaire, but just taking that little step of, you know what? Yes, my feelings are telling me I love my kid's father, but faith is telling me I need to leave this relationship, that God loves me and He has better for me. And I want my life to be better. So I'm going to take that step and get out of it. And it's the same way with anything that you're waiting on God for. What steps are you taking to obey God? Are you taking that leap of faith to do the thing that God is calling you to do? A lot of times that is going to lead you to your life changing. That is going to lead you to that promise, the thing that you're afraid of. You know, I've said it before. All the things that were bad for me, all the things that I shouldn't have been doing, I was never scared. I was never scared. I wasn't scared when I met that abusive guy. You know, I wasn't scared when I was in the relationship with my baby father and it wasn't going good. I was never scared. But then when it comes to God and He's like, do this, do that, now I have all this fear. And a lot of times the enemy gives us that fear to stop us from going in the very direction that we need to go, because fear doesn't come from God. You know, the word says it. God hasn't given us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. And so that's the thing about this walk. It's all by faith. It's not about our feelings. Our feelings, that's this flesh. That's this body. That's our soul, our mind, our will, our emotions. That's not spirit. So it's kind of like you have to do what's counterintuitive. You know, you feel fear, you know, 9 times out of 10, you got to go towards that thing because that's the thing that God is leading you to. And you can't worry about your feelings, but that's what's going to help your life line up. That's what's going to help your life change as you consistently keep obeying God. You know, even with me writing my book, where I get to is all contingent on the things that I'm doing in the moment in that day. Little simple things like, okay, am I going to wake up early like I'm supposed to wake up, like I said I was going to wake up, or am I going to sleep in late? You know, am I going to go hang out on the weekend, or am I going to buckle down and am I going to write? I gave myself a timeline. But if I don't get up and write, if I don't stick to it, I look up, my timeline is here and I haven't done anything. So it's the sum of my choices. I'm never going to get to the point where I'm able to get it published if I never complete it. And this is something that God gave me to do. So, and it's something that has potential to change my life. You know, who knows what will happen with the book, who it will reach, you know, how far God will push it. But I'll never know if I don't finish the work. So I think about that a lot. You know, I sit here like, oh, I want my life to change and I'm sick of this and this everyday thing. Okay. There is going to be some monotony, but at least let it be that you're doing the thing that God has given you, that you're still working on it. You're doing it little by little. You're taking it one day at a time. You're being productive. You know, I just wanted to share that because that's what I'm going through myself. And I'm sure you're waiting on God for something, but don't go by your feelings and make sure you're being obedient. What is He giving you to do? You know, 9 times out of 10 is something that we didn't just wake up and say, yes, I want to do this. I never in a million years wanted to have an online ministry. I don't want to talk to anybody about anything. I hate public speaking, but it's something God gave me to do. So I got to be obedient. I don't know where that will lead, but little by little, if we make those changes, if we keep obeying, our lives will change. We will be blessed. The best place to be is in a position where you're obeying God and you're doing what he called you to do. So I just want to encourage you, do the thing that he's been calling you to do. Don't go by your feelings. Be disciplined. Do the thing that you're supposed to do even when nobody is looking. And your life will change little by little. It's all in the decisions. We know right from wrong. Something isn't good for you. Ask God for the strength, to just do that right thing, make that right choice. When it's a matter of our heart and how we feel about people, it can be really difficult, but it's facts over feelings all day. It's the facts. Is God telling you to be with that person, or are you just caught up in how you feel about them? If God is not telling you to be with them, you got to let it go. Pray for the strength to let it go. I know it's hard, but God wants what's best for us. If he's telling you to leave a job, whatever God is telling you to do, if he's telling you to start a ministry, just do it. Just do it. You'll feel so blessed. I know for me, a lot of times I'm so frustrated and overwhelmed with things. And I'm frustrated and overwhelmed because I'm not doing what God told me to do. As soon as I start doing what he's told me to do, I feel that sense of peace. Is everything in my life all lined up and wonderful? Absolutely not. No. But I feel more peace knowing that I'm doing the thing that God gave me to do instead of me trying to fight God and go against him. Of course, I'm going to feel all this pushback. Of course, I'm going to feel this friction because I'm trying to fight God. I'm being disobedient, and so that opens the doorway for the enemy to do all kinds of stuff in your life, for things to fall apart. So it's just better to obey God. But waiting is active. Waiting is not twiddling your thumbs. It's not sitting around waiting for God to drop your blessings out of the sky. It's every day making those choices about what are you going to do. We have the same 24 hours as everybody else. We got the same 24 hours as whatever millionaire there is in the world. There's no reason why you can't be that. There's no reason why you can't be a business owner. There's no reason why I can't be that best-selling author. There's no reason. There's no reason. We have that same amount of time. So it's all in the everyday choices that we make. We got to line our lives up with what God is telling us. We got to be connected to the right people. Disconnect from those people that you don't need to be connected to. Your life, you'll see your life get better right away. I always have examples about my baby father because that was the trial of my life. So even in that, I saw my life change as soon as I obeyed God, and I finally got that strength to break things off, because when I was with him, my money was always gone. I was always broke. I was behind on my bills. He was crashing up my car. So I hardly had a vehicle. Just the absence of peace, the stress in my life, being with somebody and not having any help emotionally, spiritually, financially. So once I let that go, everything started to smooth out. Everything started to work out little by little. It wasn't overnight, but little by little, things got better as I began to put God first, and then put myself first, and then obey God. Then I could think clearer. I didn't have all that stress, of just being connected to somebody that wasn't committed. When is he coming home? Where is he at? What is he doing? And being with somebody that wasn't helping me financially. If I'm going to be broke and with somebody, I might as well be broke by myself, because what is the point? Why are you here? So it was like things started to to just be better. I got another vehicle, and then I wasn't sharing it with anybody. I could come and go as I please. My money was my own money. It wasn't anybody mooching off of me and borrowing this and borrowing that. I had peace of mind, and I could think and I could focus. I had clarity. So soon as we start obeying and lining our lives up, things get so much better. But we got to just keep pressing and keep doing the thing that God is calling us to do. You can do it. You just have to make the right decision in the moment. And where you don't have that strength, just ask God for the strength to do it. But waiting is active. So while we wait, we got to work while we wait. We got to work while we wait. Don't give up. Don't give up. Just keep pressing. Just keep going. Just keep being obedient. When you feel that fear, you got to speak to yourself. God hasn't given me the spirit of fear. That is the enemy. So you got to lean into that thing, whatever you're fearful about. I be having a mini heart attack every time I get ready to press go live. But I gotta do it. God is with you. You can do it. You can do everything that he said you can do. You can have everything that he said you can have. We just gotta keep pressing. We just gotta keep going. We just have to keep moving. We gotta stay active. Don't look at what things look like. Don't go by your feelings. Things are going to change, but it's about making that right decision in that moment. And when it feels the hardest and the most difficult, that's when you press in. That's when you don't quit. You don't have to be the fastest. Just don't give up. Just don't get off the track. So I just wanted to come on and encourage you, to just wait on God. He's going to do what he said he's going to do. But make those good choices in the moment while you wait. And little by little, you'll begin to see change. You'll see your life change little by little. Just keep obeying God. He has so many good blessings for you. You're going to have everything he said you're going to have. You just got to take it one day at a time and be encouraged. It's not about what we see. We don't look at the things that we see. It's temporary. All this stuff is temporary. How you feel is temporary. What you're going through is temporary. I don't care how long it lasts. It's temporary. It's temporary. It's not going to be forever. And when it gets the most difficult, hold on even tighter. That means your breakthrough is right around the corner. I've been feeling so heavy lately, but I know it's the trick of the enemy. I just got to keep going. I just got to keep pressing. I just got to keep moving. So I just wanted to encourage you guys. I love you so much. Hold on to God. Don't give up. Don't quit. Keep at it. So until next time, keep that sword up and fight the good fight of faith.